Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my review of The 100 on the CW. This week's episode was Season 4, Episode 4, called A Lie Grounded. And overall, I like this episode quite a bit. A little bit more than last week's, at least by a point or two. I don't know what it was. I just think there was more going on this week that I got a little more into. But of course, 100's one of those shows that there's never really a bad episode of. Any show I'm really into, there's never a really bad episode in my eyes, but I like this one. Minus the way they handled things towards the end, but we'll talk about that in a few minutes. We start the episode on a little bit of a lighter note, though. Jaha gets floated. Literally, he wakes up and he's floating in the water. It was nice to see that side of Jasper again, and for a minute he was actually kind of likable again. But in his very next semi-relevant scene, he pretends that the rain that comes down is the black rain, and he pretends to be like dying in agony from it when the others go inside for cover. And Jasper, he's just a dick right now. I've said this before. I just think they've been dragging on this whole act, this whole personality and behavior of him for too long. I understand he lost Maya and stuff like that, but I just think they need to do something here. Maybe when shit does start going down, they'll give him more of a kick in the pants, kick in the ass again, I should say. And maybe he'll come out of his weird little annoying shell. I don't know. But other than that, we had a scene between Kane and Octavia. Yeah, dogs in here. A scene between Kane and Octavia, with Kane talking about how there's some darkness building in her, with the way she went about killing the ambassador and such. And how she's pretty much not acting the way Lincoln would, not in the way he taught her. Not as a warrior, because a warrior knows when not to kill, and when to fight, and when it's best not to take such drastic action and stuff like that, honorable. He says Octavia's not really like that. And then we also had Luna as her Raven, Murphy, and others, as well as Abby. They go off, and Luna, she sort of questions, of course, the group. What would they do if she refused to, give over her blood? Would they sort of like take her captive and force like a certain sample of the blood out of her or something like that? Again, dog. That's a valid thing. They probably want to just let her go. If she refused, they need to keep her somehow. But she's sort of like lacking the personal motivation to help them. Of course, Nico, he reassures her that they're good people. Of course, Nico, played by Ty Olsson, for quite a while on the show now. Ty Olsson, I think, is a pretty good actor. I really liked him as Benny on Supernatural, particularly. We'll talk more about him in a minute, or in a second, actually, because a drone, an alley drone, actually attacks, and Nico shields Luna, so she isn't hit, and Nico is unfortunately killed. It was unfortunate to see that happen, because Nico's been around for a while, but we never really got a lot of personal concentration on the character. So I felt like it was a little bit odd to kill him off then, when he's been around, for again, I'm not saying he died for nothing, but still it felt a little random to kill him here, I think. And then we had Rowan. He actually kills one of the Sky Crew captives. A wee bit distracting, but it's not the worst thing in the world. You can see her there. He kills one of the Sky Crew captives when Bellamy and Kane are brought in, and he actually breaks their lines, breaks their treaty, and he declares almost basically declares war, saying to find Clarke and everything, and kill all others and stuff like that. So that was a little bit drastic to see us jump from that, but he just couldn't keep buying into what Kane was proposing, just all the pressure from both sides and stuff like that. I guess I get it to a certain extent, but kind of felt a little bit odd for Rowan to just stop giving them the benefit of the doubt at that point. But then again, the position he's in, he did give them 3 weeks, and it's been more than 3 weeks, so, what more could he do? And then, I don't know if Rowan's going to be an all-out villain now, if there's a way, things could go back the other way once he actually does see Clarke again, I don't know. And then, Jasper, he ends up finding a list of the 100 that Clarke wrote down that she would save. And of course, this is taken, and just ran all over the place with, basically. Once even Monty finds out he's not on the list, and Monty's the one that eventually... I like that Clarke actually shocked and knocked out Jasper, though. That was well-deserved. He deserved more than that. But it was nice to see that happen anyway. But Monty, he is sort of hurt by it as well, and so he announces to everyone over the radio. And it was a surprise not to know that Monty and Harper weren't on the list. But, Clarke, she tries to explain that's all sort of like out of practicality, or out of like doctors, engineers, people who they know what they'll actually need. If there's only a little bit of them that are going to survive, they need these people to move things along after it all happens, right? Same thing with having certain females over males, is to, procreate again and stuff. But so where's Harper? But Harper apparently might have this disease or illness later on, so she's not on the list. And I felt like there should have been more characters that sort of saw Clarke's side of things. Hopefully we get a little bit more about that later. But I think she went about it the way she had to, even though it comes off very cold to people like that. But again, what can you do? It's heavy lies the crown, right? And then, a tree crew group was actually attacked. Octavia I think it was Indra who managed to escape. And of course, you have Monty questioning Clarke, "Who are you?" Our friend would never have, kept this a secret from us, or would never, put us in the, or hold Jasper captive or something like that. I just think it's a situation, again, heavy lies the crown, right? And Raven, she actually has a moment with Luna here where she says she has a choice. She's not being forced into this. It's not about your blood, it's your heart. So I like that. I think that's a kind of moment Luna needed to sort of be a little more motivated to help our group here. And when the drone attacked as well, Murphy actually helped out Raven, move along and find cover. Which I thought was nice, and they sort of almost set up a potential love triangle between Raven, Murphy, and his girlfriend, who I think could be killed at any time, so I could see Monty and Raven potentially happening, but I don't know, she definitely sees them better than, the way things were in the first season, for sure, with Murphy. But I don't know, they don't need to be like, just grow as allies. Jaha back at Arcadia manages to help out Clarke again, due to understanding leadership and what needs to be done to sort of control the people and stuff like that. He suggests like a random lottery or draw type of thing. Everyone works as hard as they can and shows their worth, and then they pick at random, not just personally pick who manages to get on and such. Even though that sounds like they're still going to try and keep to Clarke's list, they still want to motivate the people, give them hope and such. Which I think is smart thinking on Jaha's part. It's good to have Jaha back, not have him be brainwashed. And we had a pretty cool fight scene between Echo and Octavia here as they chased her down. Octavia manages to kill the 2 other Ice Nation members that were with her, or Ice Nation grounders, I should say. And Echo, however, she is cut, but she manages to actually stab Octavia a bit, and Octavia falls and supposedly dies. She falls off a pretty decent-sized, ledge, and into the water, and we see the blood coming up from the water and such. And Echo seemed like she didn't really want to do that, but she sort of like pulled it, almost like pulled the trigger in a way. She seemed a little bit shaken by it. And we had a pretty good scene of Bellamy being told about it, when he and Kane said that Octavia would intercept him and warn Arcadia about, everyone going after him and such. And then when they drop Octavia's weapon, saying she wouldn't go, quietly or whatever, Bellamy sort of breaks down. Decent acting from Bob Morley here. I felt like he heard his accent slip out a little bit, but it was still a solid performance here. I was very curious to see how Bellamy would actually react, thinking Octavia's dead for good. I'll be honest though, I was pretty damn happy, because for a second I thought Octavia was dead. I've just never liked Octavia that much for some reason. And I think Echo is actually a good character they've given, that I'm glad they've given more importance to. So I was glad that she killed her, but of course Octavia somehow survived, and she gets back up on her horse and keeps riding along. Somehow she survived, I don't know. She fell into the water, she must not have hit any rocks at all, I guess, and just floated downstream. I don't know, they really shouldn't fake us out like that. I thought that was a little bit too far-fetched. I don't know. I would have probably given this episode a higher rating if Octavia was actually dead, but hey, it is what it is. Yeah. I know there's something else I'm forgetting about this episode, but, again, feel free to leave a comment below and we can talk more about it. But overall, pretty good episode. I liked it more than last week's. Minus the Octavia fake out, I thought that was a little bit odd how they did that. But I still really liked it. I'm going to give it an 8.6, 8.7 out of 10. Like I said, a little bit better than last week's, which I rated around at 8.5, 8.6. So, yeah, still good. Both good episodes, though. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, subscribe. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.